following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Yes, it is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO-FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country, 105.5 on your FM dial. Here we are on this Tuesday morning, 23rd day of February. And, Bob, we got a special guest in the studio with us this morning.
Yeah, normally we've got Tuesdays with Tillery, but State Senator Blake Tillery texted yesterday, said he's got another meeting. Said they must be meeting early this week because Stephen Meeks was tied up Monday. Blake Tillery tied up today. Hopefully we'll get Bill Workheiser tomorrow. But we got head coach of the baseball team, Justin McDonald, in the studios with us to talk Wayne County baseball. Big trip this weekend up to Atlanta, Georgia, take on some good competition. Off to a 2-1 start. Had the scrimmage against Vidalia. Just want to get you in and talk about the overall baseball programs, not only the high school, but the JV, the middle schools, all underway, all doing well. So just want to get your thoughts on the overall program.
Yeah, there's a lot of baseball going on a weekly basis from two middle school teams, the JV and the high school team, the varsity team. But you know, there is a lot of kids in this program, and you know, we got the numbers of the guys involved. I think between our 7th, 8th, and 9th graders, there's something around 40-something players that's involved in the program. And you know, that's the number one reason that makes this place such a great place to coach. Is there's so much development going on, and you know, there's a lot of kids in the program. Obviously, the older they get, the tougher it gets for us to have to make decisions based on narrowing it down. But again, the one thing you want to see at that age, especially in the middle school and the JV level, is them working on their skill development, becoming a better player in all aspects. And you know, I know every kid's dream that's involved is to eventually be on that varsity team and making an impact on Wayne County baseball.
And another aspect of the program is the Booster Club. You know, I can't say enough about all the improvements over the years. The new lights have been added. I saw where they painted the bricks this year, new backstops. Tell us about all the improvements that have taken place at the field.
There's constantly stuff going on, and you know, our school system has done an outstanding job of also providing financial support to do some things, such as the backstop netting that we put up this year, and you know, the Booster Club, they do it year in and year out. Is find ways to improve that facility, and you know, I think the facility is a direct reflection of what your program is. And you know, when teams come in and they see you have a great facility, obviously they know you have a great program here. And you know, I've been here 13 years, and I sometimes wish we could have took some pictures of like the progress of what it was and what it is now. And you know, that's just the effort to the Booster Club, the school system, our maintenance staff, and you know, it's the community involvement. You know, I know there's a lot of stuff that's been donated, and especially time and effort to make those things happen. But you know, I know our kids enjoy it, whether they've already graduated or they're in middle school. You know, they're going to benefit from all of it. So again, it's a top class facility, and you know, it's good when teams come in and you get compliments of what it looks like. Now, I will say it's just a lot of hard work to keep up with, and you know, I guess it's sometimes I spend more time on that field than I do my own yard. But again, it's just one of those things that it's a reflection of our program, so you got to get it looking right.
So far, the crowds have been excellent. Again, we've got 3 games under our belt plus the scrimmage. Good crowds on hand. Your assessment on what you've seen so far early from your team?
Well, I think we're on the right track. You know, I think last night showed a little bit of not having a lot of practice time on the field with the weather, how it's been over the last couple of weeks. But you know, we're going to use today and get out there and really have the first real practice that we've had in quite some time due to the weather. But you know, I think that kind of showed a little bit last night. But again, I think we're offensively, I think we're ahead of where we were years before. But and pitching, you know, pitching is what it is. You know, I didn't realize last night we struck them out 14 times. So but at the end of the day, we had to make some plays on defense. But you know, I think we're ahead of schedule, and I think we're on the right track. Obviously, the schedule's tough, but you know, as I've told you time in and time out, that's for a reason. And you know, we're looking forward to another great contest tomorrow.
Ed Brad already struck out 9 in relief, 3 in the third. He came in with bases loaded, got the out. Then he had a bases loaded situation and struck out the side and didn't give up runs. So the joke after the game was just put a guy at third, and when he's pitching, he seems to bear down, doesn't give up any runs.
Yeah, that's kind of how he was last year too. And you know, there's something that you can't put a price tag on not being able to go in there and be poised in a situation where there's the worst case scenario I think you can be in, basically loaded no outs and then strike out the side. But especially, you know, he wasn't in like the bottom part of their lineup. He was right in the heart of it. So again, he pounded the strike zone, and you know that was game 3 of the year, and it was a playoff atmosphere type deal when he done that. So again, I think we're going to build off that, and you know. The pitching staff, you know, that's going to be a strength. And, you know, we've always prided ourselves on pitching the defense, and, you know, we got to shore up the defense. And, again, got to continue to work around and try to find that right mix of kids to make this thing work.
Just joining us, head coach of the baseball team, Justin McDonald, in studios with us. High expectations, again, projected to win the region, preseason ranking number 5 in the state. I think Stars Mills 1. Of course, Loganville's up there as well, always there. But Wayne County in the top 5 in the preseason rankings. You got to be pleased with that. Yeah,
we are. You know, that's just, you know, I think that's a tribute to guys that have played here and gone on to play at the next level or graduated that were great players here. You know, there's a tradition here, and people take notice. And, you know, at some point, I think our kids need to hear sometimes that you are a great team and you can be great. You know, we don't read too much into those preseason polls. We worry about the one at the end, but you know, I think that's to be mentioned with, you know, there's some new teams that, you know, Cartersville's back in 5A. We got a little history with them, and Blessed Trinity, you know, we've gone toe to toe with them in Atlanta the last 3 years. And you know, I think the biggest thing when playoff time comes, and you know, it seems like we always crossing over with the Ola, Locust Grove, Jones County region, which we'll do that again in the first round. But you know, big thing when you get in those playoffs with these caliber teams, you have to have the mindset, don't get beat by the name on the jersey, because it's just another game. And you know, I'm excited about it. There's tough competition in 5A baseball, but I think we got a chance to make a run if we can stay healthy and continue to get better.
Yeah, I was reminded this week you had the seniors from last year's team throw out the first pitch. Sean Steverson, Jasper Stanfield, J.C. Williams. I was reminded again how the last year's season just went away with the COVID, but nice to see us playing baseball. But this year you got 9 seniors on the team, one of the largest senior classes you've had in quite some time.
It is, and you know, and I'll name them: Austin Burgess, Cody Eicher, Ray Townsend, Tyler Dennison, Blake Brockenden, Jacob Brewer, Jack Perkins, and Zach Thomas. Hopefully I didn't leave anybody out. Dawson Lashtinger is the last one. You know, those guys, they bring something to the table every day, and not only their talent, but their leadership. And I think that's something that we've had teams come through here that had all the talent, but the one thing that they like was leadership. And I can tell you, this team don't like it. And you know, they're constantly finding ways to improve each other. And you know, there's times where, you know, like I'll say last night we had one talk about some bad body language during the game in front of the teammates. And you know, that stuff, when coaches don't have to correct that stuff, and you got seniors that will lead a underclassman along and let him know that that's not how it goes and that's not how you need to do it. I think that's going to win us a game later on by that kind of leadership that we have from that senior class.
And you mentioned your coaching staff. You know, can't do it alone. You got a good coaching staff, so just mention those guys and what they bring to the table.
Yeah, and I started in middle school. You know, you got Sid Royal at head coach at Martha Puckett, and then, you know, he's got 3 former players that I was fortunate to coach, helping him: Dylan Brown and Hunter Roberson and Clay Teston. They're all helping him at Martha Puckett. And then you got Coach Osteen and Coach Peel and Coach Royal, Rob Royal at Arthur Williams. And, you know, I think it's when you got guys at the middle school that are going, teaching fundamentals, and obviously I know they want to win the game, but, you know, in our program, that's not the utmost important. We want to make sure those kids are getting better each day and defining their game and kind of critiquing it and getting better each day at it. But at the high school level, you know, I've said this before, that when I was an assistant coach, you know, sometimes I wish I'd go back and do that, because I did a whole lot more coaching when I was an assistant coach. But again, if you don't have a great coaching staff, then this thing wouldn't even move at all. But you know, Coach Browning, he's been on now for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and taking on the pitching staff, and you know, that's something that you do not have to worry about. You got Coach Brockenden, moved up from the JV. He's now a varsity assistant helping us. And then we're fortunate to get Chase Henson in as he's teaching over at Arthur Williams, and to get him to be the head JV coach. And you know, he's doing an outstanding job with those young guys, and you know, he understands what we're trying to do and understand the development process. And again, I'm excited about having him. And then we have Mike Roberts and Buddy Starling as community coaches, and then we have Coach Hayes out there helping a little bit as far as you know, he's helping with our catchers, and he's doing a great job as well.
So again, the season's underway. Go to Statesboro tomorrow. Former region opponent. I understand they got a pretty good team this year as well.
They do. I think they're sneaking up on some people. You know, we didn't have a chance to play them last year, and you know, I think they got an underclassman committed to Georgia Tech pitcher. So seems like we see everybody's best guy. So we're expecting to see him tomorrow. But you know, it's the going to Statesboro. You know, that's been kind of a rival as far as region games. So we're looking forward to it. And you know, Coach Simmons retired, and they brought back Coach Bishop that was there back in my first years there. That was the head coach at Statesboro. He come back over and took over the job. So he's going to do a good job. They're going to be well coached and ready to play.
Yeah, and we've seen some good pitching thus far.
Oh, yeah.
Began with the Spivey kid that's committed to Notre Dame from Vidalia. Again, Lee County brought, you know, Jeff Davis has, I mean, we're, like I said, it seems like we see everybody's best.
Yeah. Yeah, which I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, we just know that if we can get those guys off the mound and get into the bullpen, and I wouldn't say get average guys, but get some guys that are a little bit below the standard of what was starting the game, then I think we can take advantage of it. I think that's what happened at Lee County that Saturday. We kind of took advantage of a guy that felt, or he fell right into what we're capable of doing offensively. But you know, again, we just got to continue to get better at the plate. And you know, the one thing I've noticed from these guys is they're not sitting there; they're attacking. They're in attack mode when they go up. And you know, I think we preached all over the weekend after the 2 games is we can't wait till the late innings and to make our run. And we come out to a fast start last night, but then we fell asleep in the middle innings. I think that's something we got to do it consistently. We got to try to put pressure on guys in innings 1 through 7, and not just go 1, 2, 3 and kind of make it kind of be just a turnover and just, hey, we're just gonna hold on a 2-0 lead and try to play this thing out. We got to continue to mount pressure and try to score runs in multiple fashions.
This is the first year the baseball's in the new region as well. You know, we're familiar with Douglas throughout the years. That's been a big rivalry throughout the history of Wayne County. Wayne County Douglas has a great baseball rivalry, but Veterans and Warner Robins, what do we know about them?
You know, I know Veterans over the last few years, you know, they made some runs to the Final Fours, deep in the playoffs, and not I don't know a lot about Warner Robins, but you know, again, we're going to have to play those guys 3 times, and you know, some of those road trips are going to be a little bit long, but you know, I think it's a good region. You know, Coffee is what it is. I know that's a rival that's been here for years, and I'm happy to get that going back. And then Ware's there. You know, Ware's always been a staple, and you better be ready to play when you go to Ware, and you better be ready to play when they come here, regardless of what everybody's saying about them. So, you know, again, it's a tough region. You know, the 2 out of 3 stuff, or three game series, you got to kind of find a way to set up your pitching and try to get 2 out of 3. And you know, at the end of the day, you got to be ready to play each day, or some of those games can cost you. But I'm excited about the new region. You know, there's only 5 teams, so you know, the chances of getting in is pretty good if you can pick off one team.
Yeah, get 4 of the 5 get in. So you know, but hopefully we can win this region championship. I just hope the whole season goes.
Oh yeah.
You know, we had the story last week. Long County had to shut it down for a couple weeks because kid got COVID. So you got a lot of kids in that dugout. So I'm sure you got the protocol and things like that.
Yeah.
What's the team doing every day to make sure that we don't have an outbreak?
We're doing. I know we're doing about as everything we can. You know, we're doing temperature checks when they come in at 1:30 in the weight room. That's something we're monitoring, and then we're obviously asking them the questions. And, you know, we're preaching to them, if you got symptoms or you feel sick, then just stay home and let us know. And you know, I think that's one thing that the kids and the parents have to be proactive in making the right decisions for their kid and their family. But I told our kids, we're never going to question you if you call and say, Coach, I don't feel good this morning. At this point, never will we say, hey, or think you need to stay home and make sure you're healthy before you come in. But we're doing the mask. I know the middle of that game last night, there was basically low no out. So I was telling some kids, make sure your mask pulled up over your nose in the dugout. That one thing, obviously, it's become a habit now for most of them to keep it on at all times. But, we're going into the locker room. We're disinfecting the locker room after each game. I'll be doing it today around lunchtime, going in there and fogging it down. So, we got disinfected sanitizer all in the locker room. It's the ones you just stick your hand under and they just walk by and it shoots it and they rub it down. But at the end of the day they're gonna have to take precautions themselves. But again, we're doing everything we can possible because I know how much I want to play, and it's not so much about me. I just don't want these kids to have to go through and me sit at home March and April and get those texts every day from seniors saying, Coach, you heard anything? Coach, you heard anything? And then having to tell them no and not real sure where it was going. Because I'll be honest, last year I thought we were going to shut it down and it'd be a couple of weeks, we'd be back at it. But obviously that's not how it worked out. And, I watched those three seniors come back and throw those pitches. And, the first thing they said is, man, I wish I could do this one more time. And, I feel for them. They can't control it, but, it's unfortunate it happened to those guys. And I just hope that some of that feeling of what those guys have can feed off on our guys and make them understand how quick it can be taken away.
Yeah, it's really a sad story when you think about, of that whole senior class just didn't really have a senior class. And they were, so, all the sports was washed away. Not just baseball, but all the spring sports. So I said they just lost out on the entire senior year. And the colleges got a extra year, but they didn't get guys.
Well, I'll tell you, it's taking a toll on, we got some great players in our program, and the recruiting process it's taking its toll on the recruiting process too, with all these extra years of eligibility, and obviously trying to find these guys places to play, and it's going all the way down until the 2022 class and 23s, they're the logjam, and those players are going to have to go somewhere. So hopefully this thing will shake back out and start opening up some places for our guys. And I don't think our guys are scared to go in and compete for spots with a big roster, because that's what a lot of these teams have. They have expanded rosters based on giving years of eligibility back. But it has taken its toll on recruiting. I know we've had to work overtime to try to, especially with the dead period, and NCAA. I think they extended the dead period now to May the 31st. So they can't come watch games at the Division I level, but D2 guys, JUCO, NAIAs, they can come watch. But it's the video that we do that you can't put a price tag on the video that we're doing now, being able to cut that up and send it out. And I think a lot of people think that's just a football thing, but right now it is a huge deal for baseball to be able to video these games and cut those clips up and send them out to coaches.
Now, we mentioned the senior class, but you got a lot of young talent as well, and a lot of kids on that roster. So like you tell them all the time, they better be ready when their number's called. Everybody thinks the lineup's set in stone, but I tell people all the time that's a fluid situation.
It is, and it's going. I'll say it's going to get shaken up a little bit Wednesday. That's just how it is. We got to find the right mix, and we've never, we never found the right mix in game one. I can assure you that it may be the same group of guys, but different order, different way of going about the business. But that we preach that whether you're freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. I think you got to be ready to play at any given time, and I had a great conversation with someone this weekend, and there was an analogy. Our freshmen and sophomores, when they come into when you get a freshman, sophomore, and they come in, they're kind of hunting. They're on the hunt mode, trying to find a spot and take a spot. But when you get to that junior, senior, you got somebody hunting. You're being the hunted, so you're the ones that trying to hold on to that spot and continue to play. So at the end of the day, we're going to try. Our job is to put the best nine that we think is going to give us a chance to play. And is it an easy decision? That's the worst part of my job, and it's making the lineup card out, because if I could bat 30 of them, I would just to do it. But obviously we want to put the best 9, and sometimes it's offensive based, sometimes it's defensive based, sometimes it's based on who's on the mound and who's the next guy coming in. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it based on how you can make moves and all, and we have to play that thing out by inning based on what may happen or what can happen. But again, we're going to try to give everybody opportunities and put those best 9 that's going to give us a chance to win.
Well, this time of year, weather's a big factor. Like I said, fortunately, with that tarp, we've been able to get, like yesterday, if you didn't have tarp, that game probably wouldn't have been played. But we were able to get yesterday's game in. The Friday night game against Jeff Davis was able to get in as well. But looking forward to the trip to Atlanta, but the forecast, I understand, not looking good right now.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it till my wife said something to me last night about it. But then now I'm looking at it every hour, see if it's changing. But I was hopeful. There's been very few years that we've gone up there and it hadn't been sub-freezing or hadn't been kind of misty rain. But I was, last week you looked and it was mid-60s, sun shining this weekend. But hopefully that'll change. I do know when we did have some weather problems up there, there was a couple of turf fields like Blessed Trinity. They was talking about putting the games on. So hopefully, I'll touch base with them middle of the week and see what the plans are. But I'm excited about going up there and playing. Lovett's the number 1 team in AA right now. Parkview's number 3 in 7A. So, I tell our kids we're not just going up there to go up there and have a morale victory or go up there and try to only get. We're going up there because I believe our program belongs in that competition. I believe that these guys have earned the right to play in that kind of level. And obviously I think we have the opportunity and the expectation is go up there and win. There's nothing more that's going to make us satisfied than to win. We're not going to be satisfied. We're going to just playing well. We're going to execute and win.
Well, it's good to have pitching. We got plenty of arms. Like I said, you threw 7 different guys in Vidalia. They all look pretty good. So you got a pecking order of your pitching? Is there 1, 2, 3, 4? Or is it
not yet. That's another thing that's going to shake out. I will say I think Brad Roddy kind of separated himself a little bit last night based on that performance. But, he's I think Ray Townsend obviously coming off last year and then doing what he did Friday. But, you still got Tyler Dennison, Zach Thomas. Asher Cathy did a great job last night. He was absolutely running through them the first 3 innings and then had a couple mishaps and it kind of built on him. But, I think he's going to learn from that. Him being a junior, that's really only his second varsity start. He started at Brantley last year, and then he was actually scheduled to start later in that week before it got shut down. But, I know he's going to grow from that, and he's going to be better next outing than he was this outing based on that performance he had last night. But, again, I keep going Blake Brock, and then, he's one that he is a strike thrower. Luke Boykin, we're going to try to transition him and then possible closer role because he's got real good stuff. But there's only so many games and so much time or innings that you can get those guys in. So there's a lot of bullpen work that's going to have to go in. And not to mention, Dawson Lastinger and then Austin Burgess. Obviously Burgess was set and ready to come in that game the other day. But again, we're going to work him in hopefully this week if the situation comes. And he's got good stuff. I'm excited about people to see the work he's put in and how much he's improved over the last year of taking the role of Coach Brown talked to him about dropping down last year and getting down to the submarine stuff, and he bought into it. He put in tremendous work with it, and I think it's going to be excited to see it. If he can bring what he's done in the inner squads to what he can do. If he transitioned that to the game, it's going to be something to watch because he's going to be able to get outs, and it'll be ground ball central for our infield. And, when those guys know that they're pitching the contact, they're ready to play and make plays, I think it does wonders for them guys to be ready every time. But, again, Zach Thomas, he's another one. I can go on and on. There's some underclassmen. You got big Gavin Mixon, big left-hander. You got Campbell, left-hander. So, there's a lot of guys throughout that program that possibly at any given moment may have to give innings at the varsity level. So, again, we're continuing to build that, and, obviously the roles will continue to get defined more and more as we go.
Well, Coach, it's always an exciting season getting us underway. We look forward to the game tomorrow in Statesboro and then the trip to Atlanta. But I appreciate you coming in. Like I said, hopefully knock on wood, we'll have the entire season.
Yeah.
Like I said, it looks everything seems to be going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So that's the good news. The crowds have been tremendous, though. People are excited to get out and watch some Wayne County baseball.
Yeah, it is.
As always.
You know, I've said it there. Our kids notice that. They notice the support they get, and you know, I think that's important to be in a community where not only they love athletics, but they love baseball. And you know, they come out whether it's raining. You know, I think Friday night I didn't realize how many people were there for that game, and then obviously Saturday was a good crowd. But we want to continue to, you know, I challenge people: don't wait to playoff time to fill it up. Go ahead and fill it up now and get it going, because I know it's a great atmosphere. I know Dr. Burgess does a great job with the music in between innings and kind of the sound effect stuff. It's the atmosphere of a high school baseball game. And I know some of the umpires that have come through, they said, man, this is a great atmosphere for high school baseball. And I said, well, just wait if you get the opportunity to come here during playoff time. But I want to challenge, don't wait to playoff time to make it where people talk about, let's do it during the regular season. And, you know, end of the day, it's for these kids. And you know, we're playing with the mentality that hey, Wednesday might be our last game. You know, that's just how it is. You know, that's a reality now after it happened last year, that our guys understand. Don't take for granted having practice today. Don't take for granted having a game tomorrow, because they could be taking that quickly. But, you know, also we're challenging our kids. They have to be careful what they're doing outside of baseball, what they're doing on the weekends, who they're around, that type of stuff. You just can't do the COVID stuff and the precautions that we're taking during the week and then go free fall on the weekend. They still have to take precautions on the weekend and make sure they're doing the right thing and staying safe and making sure we could come back and have another full week.
Okay, well, Coach, again, we'll appreciate you coming in, and we'll look forward to Wednesday night in Statesboro.
Sounds good. Thank y'all for having me.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup. And, Bob, we have about 4 more minutes. Anything else going on this week news-wise? You was talking about the school board?
The school board meets today. Like I said, we're still waiting for the announcement on who the new superintendent's going to be. I'm not sure if that's coming today or this week, so we'll find out today at the meeting.
Okay.
So, waiting for that announcement, but it should come sometime this week.
Okay. Well, we'll find out who it's going to be.
Everybody wants to know.
Mm-hmm.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you the populist choice out there. We'll see what happens with the school board and how they decide. All right, 826, 105.5 FM in Jessup, world famous Butch and Bob Show for this Tuesday morning. So the school board meeting, Wayne County baseball tomorrow. You said they're traveling up to Statesboro to take on the Blue Devils.
Right. And then the trip to Atlanta. I said a lot going on today. The soccer teams are in action at home. The golf team has their first match on the road over in Blackshear, and look forward to see how those scores are posted this afternoon. Again, a very talented high school golf team. And again, cross-country team reminds everybody they're having that Yellow Jacket run this Saturday morning. Still time to register for that. Call Kathy Broadhead, and that number is 427-4707. Again, it's a $30 entry fee, and it's a family 4 can run for $85. That's the Yellow Jacket run this Saturday morning, 8:30 at JC Stadium for the cross-country team. So,
okay. All right. Ought to be a good run for them this Saturday morning. I think they've been doing it for several years now. Yep.
Annual event
For that run to help raise funds for the cross-country team. Big Dog Country Radio, 105.5 FM in Jessup. And anything else going on, Bob, on your mind this morning here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show?
Breakfast.
Breakfast. All right, we'll let you go eat breakfast, Bob. All right, bye-bye. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Country Financial, by Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, by Murphy Buller Supply, and First Southern Bank.
The world famous Butch and Bob Show.